Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
Welcome to the Daily Compliance News for February 21, 2025, the No KFC in Kentucky edition. And we begin with that story as you can take the fried chicken out of Kentucky, but, well, KFC's moving to Texas. How's that for corporate relocation? The Texas Fried Chicken Company. Yes. Just as the company flew its flags at half staff when Colonel Sanders died, they better fly it at half staff now. How about that? Kentucky Fried Chicken. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Kash Patel, the putative head of the FBI, in addition to all of his falsehoods, misstatements, and taking of the Fifth Amendment in his Senate hearing, stands to make millions from the fashion brand Shein. Why is this so important? Well, it has a large amount of Chinese ties. We've talked about on other podcasts Shein and its forced labor problems. Well, now we're going to have the head of the FBI who's in bed with them. How's that for the Trump administration and its fight against corruption? Next up from the Wall Street Journal, this time Risk and Compliance Journal, Mingy Sun reporting that the Corporate Transparency Act is back on. Yes, we reported yesterday that the Federal District Court of Carnoodle in the Eastern District of Texas granted the government's request, but now the Treasury Department says the filing deadline for companies will be 30 days. So March 21, if you haven't filed, you better get off your duff and do so. And our final story also comes to us from the Wall Street Journal. It reports that a Synapse executive alerted accountants to some $100 million in missing funds at the company and has questioned the grand jury has convened on it and is questioning the executive who tried to raise the alarm, but apparently that alarm was not heeded going forward. So investigation going on. Synapse is connected financial technology firms with banks, helping startups find money to park their digital customers' funds. As the middleman, it managed billions of dollars at its peak, and its sudden collapse in April left thousands of people unable to access their money. So yet another collapse in Silicon Valley around financial services. We saw U.S. Bank obviously last year. So it is a wild and woolly west out there, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Synapse going forward.
At the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement.
The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.